Alright there folks, back again for another video. In this one we're going to be diving into looking at a new Kickstarter campaign that has popped up for one of my favourite miniatures games, Burrows Badgers, from the folks at Oathsworn Miniatures. I've been following this game since it came out, and I think even a little bit before that, when there was just sort of like a little sort of free version that you could get your hands on from Oathsworn. It is a absolutely amazing game. Really good fun. I've got sort of links to reviews and things that I've done of the game in the past, so you can go and see my thoughts on it there, as well as why it was my game of 2019, back in what feels like the annals of history now. But Oathsworn are back on Kickstarter right now with Burrows Badgers, Warriors of the Wild, which is their newest set of miniatures, 3 sets for use in the game. And yeah, it is looking pretty darn awesome indeed. As things have gone through, they've started to add lots of new creatures and everything into the mix for the game. Michael and Joe do an amazing job, and this is no different, I think, than what they've done in the past. In fact, in some cases, it's even better. So they've split this up into 3 different sort of sets, as it were. Although you can also get all of the miniatures together in one, if that's what you prefer. So they've got the Kindred set that you can see there, which contains your sort of your rangers and your outlaws, maybe your scouts and the like, that might be heading out into the wilds of Northumbria to go and hunt down all sorts of targets and everything else in between. You've got your soldiers, which are your slightly more armoured individuals with slightly better weapons, probably, for them to use in their endeavours on the tabletop. And you've got some really nice options there as well. The badger is obviously a favourite for me. I do like myself a good badger, although I do quite like the owl as well. And then there is the outsiders set, which is a little bit of a mix of all sorts of different things for you to use in your games. You do have the new newt in there, or a couple of newts anywhere as well, which are quite nice to see, which is always good. As I said, you can dive in and you can get yourself the Warriors of the Wild and just buy one of these packs if you prefer. The pledge costs are here on the side, so I think it's about £40, 46, around 50 quid if you wanted to get a set of those miniatures for yourself, which isn't too bad. But if you want to go all in and get your hands on all of the miniatures, then it's £125, which is again pretty damn good for all of these miniatures. If you've never looked at the stuff from Oathsworn before, it's really, really nice. For the most part, they are single-piece metal or resin miniatures. Occasionally, you'll get one that's a sort of multi-part, but that's mainly for some of the sort of larger things that they've done. So, for example, the big bear that they did, that was a multi-part kit. But for the most part, you're going to be picking up single-piece metal miniatures, all resin, that invariably needs no sort of clear up or anything. I have managed to just basically crack them out of the pack, stick them onto bases, and just get them painted, and it's been an absolute joy. If you're a fan of book series like Redwall, or maybe you played board games like Mice and Mystics, maybe even if you're somebody who plays role-playing games like Mouse Guard, this is the kind of world that you're entering into with Burrows Badgers. It's that kind of anthropomorphic animal fantasy on the tabletop with lots of amazing sculpts. Michael's just got better and better. And I mean, even his early sculpts were amazing, but I think the stuff that we've seen recently from him is just top notch. And it's so good to see the range expanding and growing in all sorts of different ways. And including lots of new species and everything in there as well, alongside the development of the game, which has grown a huge community over on Facebook. I know a lot of people have dived in and find it an amazing game to get engaged with. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's built on the back of really hardcore games that people really enjoy, like Mordheim and other campaign games of that style, and it sort of really nicely feeds into that and has a great narrative element to it as well. It obviously helps that the sculpts are fantastic, but then I think the narrative side of things really helps to build on why the game is definitely worth diving into and checking out for yourself. And if this is potentially your first chance to dive in and play Burrows Badgers, it's not a bad place to begin. Even if you just wanted to dive in and maybe pick up one of the packs and use that as your warband, that would be fantastic. one of the best things about Burrows Badgers is that there is no wrong way to get started. You effectively just pick the models you like and build some warbands and have some fun. If you want to do all badgers, you can do all badgers. If you want to do a whole mix of different things, you want to do all mice, go for that. Musketeers all the way. But yeah, they've done a really nice job of making it approachable and interesting and full of innovative ideas and mechanics that are really fun to play, and really sort of, like, as I say, nail that narrative side of things. If you've ever run into Oathsworn at any of the events that they go to, like Salute and all sorts of different things around the UK and everything, they will always be there to help you and guide you as to where you should be going next and all that kind of good stuff. I do realise I have been sort of dwelling on this image for a while, but Dougie McDouglas very much reminds me of Wirren of Bly, perhaps from Joe Abercrombie's novels. He's very cool. I think I might need to add him into the mix. I do like the otters; they are very cool. I am also tempted by maybe a couple of badgers. A couple of badgers wouldn't go amiss, actually. That's kind of cool. You've also got the new great crested newts, which is always good to see. The mouse mage there, and then Dandy Jack Roberts, the ferret polecat pirate, which is very cool. But yes, some amazing stuff, as you can see from the folks at Oathsworn Miniatures there when it comes to Burrows Badgers and what's coming up next. As is the case with all these campaigns, they've been doing them for a really long time, and they always fulfill more or less on time as well. I know this one's got the delivery date of July. They've been spot on every time I've backed them in the past, and I'm sure this is going to be the same here as well. If you are interested, make sure to go and check them out and see what you think of the Kickstarter. I also thought this would be a good opportunity to explore a little bit more about the game itself and why it's worth checking out as well. So I do have a link to a post I did on my blog for Because of Dragons back in 2019, which was really cool. And this one sort of gave my sort of overviews as to why Burrows Badgers was such a great game to get stuck into and have fun with. But if you are interested in a bit more, it's worth checking out my blog, because I have put together a few little fun bits and pieces here as well for example, building your first warband in Burrows Badgers, which can be a daunting task, but this will hopefully help you out on that side of things. I know a lot of people have checked this out, and even though the game has evolved and changed through expansions and things, I think this will still be potentially very useful to a lot of people when it comes to diving into the game. There will also be a link to my full review of the game as well from over on Tabletop, so if you want to go and check that out, you can see that for yourself too. It is also worth bearing in mind that you can obviously go and explore the entire of the Burrows Badgers range over on their web store. Again, I'll have this link down below. None of this is sponsored. I just really like Oathsworn, and I really like Burrows Badgers, and I thought it would be awesome to talk about what they're doing. As I said, getting into the game, great stuff. Go and have a look at the games rules and starter bands thing. There are 2 starter bands for you to choose from. You get your hands on the miniatures in a variety of different things, and you just need to slap together the rulebook alongside your models, and away you go. Fantastic stuff. You even get a little tiny mouse. He's amazing. Cool. But yes, it should also be noted that the folks at Oathsworn and Michael has been working on a new edition of the game, which is going to be coming out in the near future. This is going to be a new version of the game alongside Osprey, I believe, again. So this is going to be coming out. It's not a massive jump from where they were previously with the game, and I reckon even if you went and gone and picked up the rulebook itself right now, very cool all the same. Got amazing artwork in it from Gary Chalk and everything. Really cool stuff. Definitely worth going to check out itself. And that's fantastic, obviously. But since this came out, as you can see, I have used it at tournaments and all sorts of different things. Since this has come out, there's been a lot of additions to the game, a lot of new warbands, a lot of new ideas, new species and everything else like that. And so the new addition to the game is effectively a tightening up of all of those old mechanics, whilst also throwing in a few new ones here and there as well. Like fate points have been tweaked and changed so that it feels a little bit more fair on everyone involved. and it's done by a per game basis, which I think is a really nice way of doing things. The other thing they've done is they've gone in and got a bless and curse mechanic in the game as well, so there's ways for you to kind of mitigate bad luck, which is always nice to see as well, and helps to feed into the narrative of things as your characters get stuck into stuff. Obviously, through the expansions and things that have come out through the Oathsworn journals, they've also thrown in a whole bunch of new warbands and things that weren't originally in this book here that I have. So you've got the Witch Hunters, you have the Arcane College and everything like that, the Conclave Allegiance, there you go. And there's also the Undead as well, which is pretty cool, so if you wanted to throw ghasts into the mist behind a Necratmancer perhaps, then you've got some nice options there as well. These rules, the playtest rules, are available over on the playtest group for Burrows and Badgers. So if you are interested in maybe picking up some of the models and playing with the latest set of rules that are available for Burrows and Badgers, then maybe go and check this out. As I say though, there's nothing wrong with picking up the original book from the folks at Oathsworn, because the game's still awesome and you can get some fun out of it before the new edition comes through anyway. It might still be a little while off regardless, so keep an eye out for that. But if you are someone who's been tempted by something anthropomorphic in the Redwall guise, then definitely come and check out Burrows and Badgers. As you can see, it is nothing if not in depth, and it is absolutely perfect for anybody who has come off games like Mordheim and Necromunda and all those kind of games, Frostgrave, Rangers of Shadow Deep. Anyone who loves a good campaign game is going to find something to enjoy out of Burrows and Badgers, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And there are prizes to be won. Not really. But yes, really fantastic stuff here, as you can see from the folks at Oathsworn, and I wish them well with everything that they do. Make sure to go and check out the Kickstarter, as I said. Make sure you're going to check out the web store. Go and check out some of the miniatures that they've got on offer. They have a huge array of different miniatures for you to choose from that, you know, go from mouse maidens through to badgers that have been beaten up and turned into fighting pit individuals. You've got a massive resin bear, you have cannon crews, you have red kites, all sorts of different things in the world of Burrows and Badgers, and you will definitely find something that suits you. Go and check out their Kickstarter, go and check out their web store, explore what they have to offer over on the blog as well, and look at sort of building warbands and everything like that as well. And I'll have the links down below to social media too, so you can go and have a look at that and see what you think, because it's a great community. Who would have thought that a game based on lovely animals with a Redwall spin would be a fantastic community to dive into and have fun with. I just wish that I could play the game more. That's all I'll say. Not enough people around me who play, but oh well, I'm sure I'll find someone to play the game with very soon. Anyway, while I feel sad that I don't get to play Burrows and Badgers quite as much as I'd like, I'm going to move on and get ready to film another video. Make sure to go and check this out. Drop your comments down below. Share what you think about the game yourself. There's not many days left on the actual campaign itself, so please go and back it before you miss out on these gorgeous miniatures. They are a joy to paint. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a showcase of some of the miniatures in my collection later on down the line. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Well, that was lovely, wasn't it? Bye for now.